Hello, 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 everyone. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are well. This is Dr. Nicole D.O, your board certified family medicine physician, and we are here today for our weekly episode of Talk with the Doc. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure that you follow us on all social media platforms, especially on YouTube at Dr. Nicole D.O, where you can like, click, share, and follow, and so that you can get access to all of our shows weekly as we talk about all health and wellness, whole person health as it pertains to you. This month we're still in the month of May, and May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we are doing all things to mind our mental health. I hope you guys tune into the show from a couple weeks ago where we talked about mental health and ways to mind your mental health. And like I said, that week, we're going to be coming at you all month long with other chronic medical conditions that can be a side effect of mental health conditions. All right. So if you are a busy professional, if you are a veteran and you have dealt with some mental health issues in the past, depression, anxiety, stress, insomnia, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, any mental health condition, then this is the show for you today, because today we're going to be talking about Gastroesophageal Reflux Disease. Woo, that's a big word, right? Also known as GERD and gastritis, and how that relates to our mental health, and how when you are stressed and anxious and depressed, that can actually cause some reflux and some heartburn and some problems with your digestive system. So please click like, share, and follow. Go ahead and grab your friends and let them know that this is the show that they want to see. Again, my name is Dr. Nicole. I'm a board certified family medicine physician. I help veterans and busy professionals, folks who want to be whole person healthy, mind, body, spirit, and finances. And this show is going to teach you all about how to make yourself a whole person healthy. We are being sponsored by Abundantly Natural, an all health wellness supplement and vitamin line, where we have all kinds of supplements, over 170 supplements and vitamins that address all areas of your whole person health. All right, so let's jump right in. What is GERD? GERD. People have heard about it. Some people try to self-diagnose themselves with it. Some people don't really understand what GERD is or what it means. But here we're going to break it down for you today. So again, it's a big word. And you know, Dr. Nicole is good at breaking chronic medical conditions down in terms that everyday people can understand. So the word is gastro, which means stomach; esophageal, which is your swallowing tube, your esophagus; reflux, meaning stuff is coming back up the wrong way; and then disease. That's what GERD stands for, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So when you have heartburn, when you have reflux, you can have regurgitation, and we're going to go over all these in a moment. You can have pressure in the chest. You can have where your food is not digesting. You can have where your food feels like it's getting stuck in your chest. All of these things can be signs of GERD. All right, and a lot of us have had some kind of bouts of GERD at some point or another. So what causes GERD? So our esophagus, that's our swallow tube. That's where we after we chew our food, it swallows down. Okay. And then the food comes down into our stomach. Now, everybody thinks your stomach is your whole abdomen area, but actually your stomach actually sits right up underneath your heart at the upper left-hand portion of your chest and abdomen wall. All right. So your stomach is actually sitting right here, the body or the fundus of the stomach. There's a little thing called a sphincter. So where your esophagus meets your stomach, there is a little sphincter. The sphincter is like a little opening. It allows the food to come down and then it closes, right? And then when it closes, your stomach has acid in it to help break down the food so that it can be digested, and that way your body can take what it needs and you can excrete or poop out the rest. All right. So the problem with that sphincter is that sometimes it gets a little loose. Okay. When that sphincter gets loose, when that acid is turning around in there and trying to break down the food, that acid can actually come back up into your esophagus. Okay. That's what you're calling reflux. So when you are feeling sometimes after you finish eating and you feel the food coming back up, okay, or you burp real big and then you can kind of feel that acid in the back of your throat. okay, that is reflux, okay? And there's so many symptoms of GERD or reflux that everybody does not feel it the same way. Some people get heartburn, that burning sensation in your chest. Sometimes after eating, sometimes if you haven't eaten, you can get a burning sensation in your chest. All right, some people get the actual reflux where they can feel the acid or the food coming back up. The difference between reflux and regurgitation means the food or the acid is actually coming back up into your mouth, into the back of your mouth. Sometimes you have to spit it out. Now that's different from vomiting, okay? Vomiting is when you're retching and you're pulling up the actual stomach contents and you're pulling that up. But regurgitation is where it's coming back up on its own and it's coming into the back of your throat or in the back of your mouth, all right? And then some people can get a fullness in their chest. I've had patients have GERD or reflux so bad that they thought they were having a heart attack. They had so much pain and pressure in their chest. And then it felt like that pain was radiating to their shoulder or to their left arm. I'm here to tell you as the doctor, if you ever have pain or pressure in your chest and it radiates to your left arm or shoulder, you need to call 911. Okay, because we got to make sure that to get you to the hospital quickly to make sure it's not your heart. Remember I told you your heart actually sits right on top of your stomach. So sometimes when your stomach is acting up, it can feel like it's your heart. Okay, so that's why it's very important to always go and get checked out if you're having fullness, pressure, or discomfort in your chest, especially if it's radiating to your shoulder or your left arm. Sometimes to your right arm as well, but especially to your left arm and shoulder. But once they rule out, okay, it's not a heart attack, well, what else could it be? Most of the time it's GERD, okay, or reflux. So what kind of things can cause GERD? Like I said, it's a weakening of that sphincter where the acid is coming back up. So if you are eating foods that are really, really, really acidic, things like lemons or citrus fruit, oranges, okay, that has more acid. And when you have more acid, you can have more GERD, okay? If you are eating things that are really spicy, yeah, I know you like spice. I know I do too. Spice is actually good for some things. Black pepper oil, spicy peppers are actually good for our joints. It's good for actually our skin. It can even be, to an extent, it can even be good for your heart. However, it sometimes can be bad on your stomach. So you've got to kind of weigh the benefits with the risks. However, like I said, it can cause reflux or it can cause that chest pressure, that burning in the chest because it is spice, okay? That cayenne, that pepper, it can cause some pain in the some reflux. If you're eating something really greasy, yeah, I know you like your fried chicken, your pizza, your greasy foods, French fries, all that grease actually can cause your stomach has to actually make more acid to break that down. When you're making more acid, the acid and the grease together, that causes more reflux, all right? And then finally, if you're eating things that have a lot of seeds, like some people who eat tomatoes. I love tomatoes, but I also know that tomatoes can cause a lot of inflammation in the stomach and it can cause a lot of reflux and a lot of acid, okay? Because you need more acid to break it down. And so if you're eating tomato sauce, so a lot of spaghetti, a lot of pasta with tomatoes, with red tomato sauce. If you're eating pizza, the pizza has the grease and it has the sauce and it has dairy too. So you're kind of at a probably, and gluten. You might just need to leave pizza alone. But these are all things that are inflammatory to the stomach and can cause GERD. So GERD can be caused by the things that we eat. It can also be caused by mental health. All right. Remember, that's why I said I wanted to link it to what's going on mentally. When you've got a lot of stress going on in your body or in your life, when you've got a lot of stress going on, the stress releases cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. And when you've got a lot of cortisol, you actually have a lot of breakdown of other things going on. So what happens? It can cause relaxation of the sphincters. Okay. When you have relaxation of the sphincter, you have more acid coming up, right? And so when you have a lot of stress, you can have more acid. There's also something called gastritis. Gastro, again, means stomach, and itis. We talked about itis a couple weeks ago with inflammation. So when you have inflammation of the actual stomach, all right, so the actual stomach is called gastritis, you can have a lot of these same symptoms: nausea, sometimes even vomiting, indigestion, heartburn, pain or pressure in the chest. And gastritis often comes, like I said, from any type of inflammation to the stomach. But when you're very stressed, you can have a lot of gastritis. I see a lot of my veterans who are dealing with PTSD and anxiety, who have gastritis a lot of times. It's hard for them to lay down and sleep because they have so much reflux coming up that also impairs their sleep even further. And what happens when you don't get enough sleep? You get more anxious, you get more irritable, you get more depressed. And so it's a never ending cycle. All right. Then the irritability, the depression, and the anxiety and the PTSD flares causes more gastritis, which then causes more insomnia. It's a never ending cycle, guys. So we've got to get this addressed. So what can you do to address GERD? First of all, we want to try to decrease the inflammation, and you can do that, like I said, with taking away the inflammatory things in your diet. Everybody's different, so you have to see what is causing inflammation for you. Is it the citrus fruit? Is it the greasy foods? Is it the pizza? Is it the tomatoes? Is it the tomato sauce? Okay. Is it a whole lot of meat? Okay. So every person is different for what causes the irritation to the stomach. You've got to see what causes it for you. Most people, though, it has to do with greasy foods. It has to do with acidic foods or spicy foods. So you might just want to limit those things and see if you have less inflammation in the stomach. All right. Another thing you can do is to limit inflammatory, other inflammatory things to the stomach. What's one of the main inflammatory things to the stomach, guys? Actually, we call them non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. All right. So we talked about you're hurting, you're aching in your joints. Oh, my knees hurt, my elbows hurt, my back hurts, my neck hurts. Everything hurts. So what do you run and take? You take anti-inflammatories such as Motrin, ibuprofen. All right. I know that for my military folks, you're in the military, you're in basic training, you're anywhere. If you complain of anything hurting, there's a joke that they say you guys pop ibuprofen 800s like it's Tic Tacs. I mean, if your elbow hurts, you get an ibuprofen. You get an ibuprofen. You get an ibuprofen. I'm just going to be like Oprah and give everybody ibuprofen. That's kind of what happens in the military. So in the military, my military folks, we've got a lot of inflammation already from the ibuprofen 800, and then you've got all of the mental stuff to go along with it, and that can cause the gastroesophageal reflux disease. As a segue real quick, if you are a veteran and you are dealing with gastroesophageal reflux disease, reflux, if you're taking things like omeprazole, pantoprazole, back in the day used to be Zantac, but they pulled that one off the market, so now they have Pepcid. If you're drinking a lot of milk of magnesia, if you're drinking, these are all the things that you can do to treat it, okay? If you're finding that you're doing a lot of that, and then you remember, oh yeah, when I was in the military, I was taking a lot of ibuprofen for my back, which is now service connected, or for my knees, which are now service connected, my ankles, my headaches, whatever. If you were taking a lot of ibuprofen and you now have acid reflux, that is a claim that you need to put in. Okay. There is a way to connect the dots. All right. And because we do know that the ibuprofen 800 taken chronically can cause that irritation to the lining of the stomach and the lining of the esophagus, and that can lead to GERD. And what service connection is all about is if something you're service connected for has led to another condition, you can get secondary service connection for that. So if that's the case, please contact me, abundancemp.com, or go to my website, abundancemp.com is my website, or go to my Facebook page, AbundanceCMP, and get some information about how to get a consultation about getting service connection for the acid reflux. It could be a 10% connection, even 30% connection, and I even help some veterans get a 60% connection for acid reflux when it's that severe. All right. So again, if you're taking anti-inflammatories, Motrin, ibuprofen, Aleve even can cause the irritation to the stomach. First of all, stop the irritating thing. Okay, doc, well then what do I take for my pain? Well, you know what doc's going to say. All of a sudden, there are other anti-inflammatory things out there, such as Abundant Pain Support, okay, is a great anti-inflammatory. It's got curcumin in it, or turmeric. Curcumin or turmeric is 6 times more potent as an anti-inflammatory than ibuprofen. 6 times more potent. That's not the right one. 6 times more potent as an anti-inflammatory than ibuprofen. So if you're taking something that is 6 times more potent, that means it'll help better as an anti-inflammatory. So take Abundant Pain Support. It has the curcumin in it. It has black pepper seed oil in it. and that's not going to cause the inflammation of the stomach. It's got N-acetylcysteine, it's got bromelain. All of these things are anti-inflammatories. We do have the pain support bundle. It is on sale this month, and so it has the abundant pain support in it, which you can take up to 3 times a day for your pain. This does not cause the irritation to the stomach lining, such as ibuprofen, okay, and your Aleve. So one way to get rid of the GERD is to stop taking things that cause inflammation. Now, the pain support bundle, it also has other anti-inflammatories in it. Remember I told you about the there's the inflammation buster. There is the probiotics. Probiotics helps to balance and manage your gut. And then in the pain support, like I said, there's N-acetylcysteine and there's bromelain, which are also natural anti-inflammatories. So all of these things will help inflammation everywhere, including in your gut, okay, including in your stomach. So if you have any type of inflammation, please look into the pain support bundle. At least the pain support, the probiotics, these are all things that are so very natural and necessary to help manage your acid reflux and your inflammation in your stomach. All right. Like I said, I wasn't going to be before you long today. I just wanted to show you guys how does stress, anxiety, and mental health impact your stomach. So if you are dealing with stress, anxiety, insomnia, all right, because also when you have acid reflux, it's hard to lay flat. Because when you lay flat, gravity kicks in and brings that acid up even more. So a lot of people, a lot of my patients who have acid reflux, they have to put the head of their bed up 30 degrees or put a whole bunch of pillows underneath their head so that they can kind of sleep sitting up. I have some that are so severe that they sleep sitting in a chair. All right. So if that's the case, if you have problems sleeping because of the acid reflux, if you're having that chest discomfort, if you're having the reflux, if you're having the regurgitation, if you're having that nasty taste in your mouth, you're having the belching, then you need to be doing things to decrease the inflammation in your esophagus and in your gut. All right. So just to wrap it up, it's National Mental Health Awareness Month. We know that all of the mental health does affect other chronic medical conditions such as esophageal reflux disease or GERD. And so I am here. I'm Dr. Nicole Edwards, board certified family medicine physician. You have reached me on our weekly talk show, Talk with the Doc, where we explain medical conditions to people in terms that they can understand. All right. And so hopefully today you can see how, if you do have GERD, you need to go and talk with your doctor about it, okay? There are medications such as omeprazole, pantoprazole, Pepcid. So there are medications that you can take. There are certain ways that you have to take it. Listen, guys, if you are taking omeprazole or pantoprazole, you can't just take it today and feel better today. That's not the way it works. You have to take it 30 minutes before you're eating or drinking anything else, okay? And you have to take it for a little while because it actually works to decrease the acid over time. It's not like your Pepcid, which is going to work to actually put out the fire right then. All right. The way omeprazole works is it decreases the acid producers in the stomach. All right. So it doesn't work the day you take it. You need to be taking it for a while. I tell my patients you're going to be taking it probably for 7 to 10 days before you feel a difference if you're taking omeprazole or pantoprazole. All right. So sometimes you have to combine that together with the Pepcid in order to, because the Pepcid helps to put out the fire right there. And in my on my Abundantly Natural line, I do have one called GI fire extinguishers. You chew that up and it helps to put out that fire right there as well. All right. So look up GI fire extinguishers if you are having acid reflux and you just want to put out the fire while you're waiting for that omeprazole to kick in. All right. So I hope you guys were able to understand a little bit more about what is GERD, what is reflux, what is gastritis, what is inflammation of the stomach, and ways to help treat it. Remember, stop eating the foods that are causing it. All right. Mind your mental health. Get to help with your stress and anxiety. Drink more water. Exercise, because when we have increased abdominal fat and increased pressure on our stomach, that actually pushes more acid up into our esophagus. So when you lose weight and lose belly fat, you actually improve reflux. So by exercising, that can also help. And then by not taking other supplement or other medications that can cause further inflammation to the stomach. All right. So If you do have problems with your stomach, stay away from things like ibuprofen and Motrin, because that is irritation to the stomach. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for Talk with the Doc. We'll be here next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please, again, click like, share, and follow. And check out my website, Dr. Nicole D.O. That's DrNicoleDO. And follow me on all social media platforms. And check out that abundant pain support, the pain support bundle for all things pain support and inflammation support. Thank you so much for joining me today for Talk with the Doc. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.